All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into something that honestly shapes our modern lives in ways we might not even notice. We're talking about these powerful, one-sided connections we build with people on our screens. Yeah, we're talking about parasocial relationships.
So let me ask you this. Think about that podcaster who feels like a real friend, or that character in a show whose struggles just hit so close to home, or maybe that YouTuber you've been watching for years. It's a super powerful feeling, right? Well, if you've ever felt that, trust me, you are not alone. So let's kick things off by exploring what this experience is all about, the intimate illusion.
And look, this is more than just some passing interest. For a lot of us, that connection offers genuine comfort. But why? Why does this one-way street feel so much like a real two-way conversation? Well, this feeling actually has a name, and believe it or not, psychologists have been digging into it for decades.
Okay, so let's put a name to the face, right? Let's actually define this bond and break down what is happening when a connection seems to only flow in one direction.
And there you have it, a parasocial relationship. So the key here, the absolute most important part, is the lack of reciprocity. You're putting in the time, the emotion, the attention, but the person on the other side, whether it's an actor, an influencer, even a fictional character, they just can't return it. I mean, how could they? They don't know you personally. It's like you're an audience of one, but only on your end.
You know, what's so wild about this is that the whole idea, it isn't new. Not at all. This isn't some internet age phenomenon. We're talking way back in the 1950s. A couple of sociologists, Horton and Wohl, saw it happening with the rise of TV. They noticed how TV hosts would look right into the camera, talk in this super friendly, chatty way, and boom, they were creating this incredible illusion of a personal, one-on-one relationship with millions of viewers all at once.
Which, of course, leads to the big question, how? How does this actually happen? Why are our brains so quick to jump on board and form these one-sided attachments? Let's get into the psychology of it all.
So it turns out these relationships are kind of built on a few key ingredients. It all starts with the media itself, right? A creator looks into the camera, they talk to you like they're in the room with you, and it creates this powerful illusion that the conversation is mutual. And when that happens over and over again, sometimes for years, even decades, that consistency builds a deep sense of familiarity. And before you know it, you are emotionally invested. You're celebrating their wins and feeling their losses, just like you would for a close friend.
And here's the kicker. Our brains are basically hardwired for this stuff. We are social creatures. We're built to respond to faces, to stories. And the thing is, our brain doesn't always bother to differentiate between a real person and a person on a screen. It just sees a face, hears a voice, and reacts. That regular exposure builds a powerful sense of closeness, and honestly, it can help satisfy that fundamental human need we all have for connection, maybe even making us feel a little less lonely.
Okay, but here's the million-dollar question. Are these relationships good for us? Bad for us? Well, like with most things in life, the answer is, it's complicated. They're really a double-edged sword. So let's take a look at both sides of the coin.
So on the one hand, the positive side, these bonds can be a totally legitimate source of comfort and support. They can provide inspiration, introduce us to new ideas, and create a real sense of belonging, especially within fan communities. But there's always a but, right? On the negative side, they can set some pretty unrealistic expectations for our real-life friendships. And man, it can genuinely hurt when a media figure does something that feels like a personal betrayal of your trust. And in very rare, extreme cases, this investment can even escalate into obsession.
Now let's talk about how this whole concept has evolved. Because if it started with television, social media just amplified it by 1,000. It completely changed the game.
And this shift, it is absolutely massive. In the 50s, a TV host broadcast one way to a passive audience. That was it. Today, an influencer on TikTok or YouTube is in a constant feedback loop. They read comments, they answer questions and live streams, they reply to DMs. Now, is it a true two-way conversation? No. But it is designed to feel incredibly close to one.
And that right there is the key difference today. That line between being a performer and being a friend has become so blurry. It's almost gone. Influencers share their daily lives, their homes, their vulnerabilities. This curated authenticity makes that illusion of reciprocity stronger and more believable than ever before.
deepening that parasocial bond for all their followers.
So that leaves us with a final question. Really a question for you to think about. In a digital world that's literally designed to make you feel seen and connected, where do you draw the line between a real connection and a powerful illusion? The point here isn't to judge these relationships. Not at all. It's just about understanding them. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.